Stage of the season, it's time to grade some of the team's performances. Manchester United have been given a B. Gab Marcotti, is that correct?
I don't have a huge problem with this at all. We can all identify situations where United can play better, but it's a quantum improvement over where they finished last season, where they were last season for much of the year. And it's not their fault. City are so much better. So yeah, I'd give them a B or B minus, with the urging that they can and must improve.
I'd go a little bit higher. I'd go B plus. I think despite the comparisons with Manchester City, who were just running away with the league, and despite the criticism of their style at times, United keep getting the job done. And you only have to look at the league table to say exactly how good that is. Top of the group in the Champions League. So maybe, against the backdrop of City, you can see a B or maybe lower. But just in the overall perspective of how the season has gone, I don't think you could ask for a whole lot more.
I'm with Shaka on this. I mean, Manchester United couldn't get in the top four last year. Now they're comfortably sitting in second. They're comfortably through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. So it has to be higher than a B.
All right then, the boys say Manchester United maybe deserve a B plus for the start of the season. And with a C at the halfway stage of the season, according to their report card. Do you agree, Stevie?
A C? No.
No? You'd have it higher?
No. Listen, Liverpool currently are sitting in the fourth spot.
Yep.
Let's be honest, Liverpool's reach for me this year has been in the Champions League because City's winning the Premier League. So, listen, the objective is to get in the Champions League, and right now that's where they are.
So what grade would you give them?
I'd give them a B.
Oh, a B?
Yeah.
Would you give them a B?
B, C, B. All right, I'll go with B.
Yeah, B's.
I mean, just the defending would be...
Yeah, that's like an F, and the attack's the A.
Yeah.
There you go.
The attack's been great, but... All right, C.
C?
Can't have that goalkeeper in that defending.
See, I mean, look, they've done well enough to be one of the best teams in the Premier League. But when we talk about best teams, there's only one really outstanding group, and that's Manchester City. So yeah, they're part of the group that's behind them. I'll give them a B.
B's and C's then, according to the boys in the studio, looking at Liverpool's performance so far this season. B minus then for Arsenal and their performance so far this season. Do you agree?
D.
D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worse, getting worse every year. What can I give the manager?
F?
Give him a Z.
Oh, give him the
For
sack.
not leaving.
Just give him a big sack and take that with you.
What is he, Father Christmas?
Is that tradition, is it, Steve?
Well, they should think about it, Arsenal, because that's the only way they go from a D. Because I'm with you, Craig, on a D. The only way they go from a D to anything higher than that is by changing the manager.
D?
And that's the issue, that you don't see this getting any better. The manager continues to be there, and then the players that he has available, you don't see real improvement from many of these younger players, younger talent. In fact, they're going in the wrong direction. I mean, whoever heard of Theo Walcott? Where has he been? When he's supposed to be the next superstar? That's not working. Jack Wilshere? All those guys going in the wrong direction, and Arsene Wenger is still around? D.
That's it then. They don't think it's a C. They think it's a D, the performance from Arsenal so far this campaign. The season then, Chelsea, defending champions, have been given a B minus by our graders. Gab, what do you think?
I think it has to be the B minus, C plus range. I expected a little bit more. They did add players in the summer, very good ones, even though Conte perhaps wanted even more. They advanced from a very tough, I thought, Champions League group, and they're only a couple points behind United, and will presumably compete for second place in the Premier League. I think there was scope to expect a little more than that, and that's why you don't go any higher.
Yeah, I agree. B minus. Right now, Chelsea's sitting in third, 4 points ahead of Liverpool in fourth, 3 points of United in second. But we are talking about the defending champions here, and so as a result, it's not all great, but
Champions League campaign, not so good maybe in the league, means that Spurs have been giving a B as their half-season report. Gab, what do you reckon? B, fair?
Yeah, I might go tiny bit higher because it's Pochettino. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Look, we're talking about the team that has the 6th highest wage bill, probably the 6th most resources, and they're in 6th place. So they are pretty much where you'd expect them to be. They're not that far off the top 4, but they are competing against better resourced opponents. And I think where they provided value added was in the Champions League, where obviously they finished ahead of Real Madrid, and that was a group that included Borussia Dortmund. Peter Boss's Borussia Dortmund, admittedly, but still Borussia Dortmund. So I think a B is reasonable, with the proviso, obviously, that there are hurdles to this team that other teams don't have to face.
Spurs are 5th, not 6th. That's just Gab's Pochettino ways.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm still tending to agree with Gab here. Despite this, is this a Spurs team that finished 2nd last season, and Pochettino didn't have the summer transfer window that everybody else did, or the one that he wanted. As a result, I'm favouring them a little bit, but can't go any higher than that B.
How can it be? How can it be B?
There's
There's not one of us here thought that Spurs would be outside the top 4, and they're sitting almost halfway through the season outside the top 4.
I don't think anyone.
How is that possible?
I don't think anyone thought they'd get through that Champions League group, though. On the other hand, if you're going to start.
On the other hand, that is correct. But come on, it's got to be B minus for where they are in the Premier League and the results they've had in the Premier League. You can't give them a B.
Gab, loving Pochettino. Stevie Nicol, not so much. It is a B, though, on the Spurs report card. When it comes to putting together these report cards, I imagine Manchester City was the easiest of them all, wasn't it? Gab, they've got an A, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I don't think you can go any higher. I tried to find fault with them because I try being contrarian, but I simply can't do it here. It's an A. It's an A because you can't give a higher grade.
Yes, you can. A plus.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. If you can go, if you
Not
go
in a
B
serious
plus,
educational institution.
Sorry.
There's no A plus in serious educational institutions. An A is the best you can do.
Gab, how would I know that? Seriously, how would I know that?
Who would have thought ESPN FC was a serious educational institution?
I got an A star in my GCSEs.
You got to wait. A what?
A star.
How much did that cost you?
Okay.
Nothing.
What does I?
Well, I'm just saying, an A.
I'll tell you what then, let's put a star by the A. Make it A star, because you can't go A plus, according to our professor over the other side of the pond.
What's the highest grade? What we need to do is decide on our grades here. The grading system is all whack.
Okay.
Aye.
So you give them an A
Yeah.
Plus.
I give them an A star.
A star, there you go.
history. Oh, okay, that's it. Keep your eye out here on the website for more report cards. La Liga report cards. Barcelona, of course, have to get an A. What a sensational season they've had. Real Madrid D. Gab Marcotti, fair?
Yeah, I think it is probably fair. You look at the expectations. You look at also chuck Champions League in there. They're not where they want to be. So yeah, D, C minus if you want to be generous, but I think that's about right.
World champions, Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because when it comes to Real Madrid, you grade it on, well, according to one other club and one other club only, and Barcelona. So as a result, yeah, maybe D seems fair, but I think over the greater piece, I still feel they're poised to get second. They are the reigning club world champions. They finished second in their group in the Champions League last year. That didn't seem to bother them too much. So I'd bump their grade up slightly to a C.
Oh no, D, absolutely. How disappointing have they been?
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes it's just about getting results, but when you don't get results and you play poorly, how can you get anything higher than a D? They struggled. Champions League, they never looked like winning that group in the Champions League. So, yeah, solid D.
A, I don't know, was A plus ever on the table? Surely if a team deserves an A plus, it's Barcelona this season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What we've seen from this so far, yeah.
All right, put a little plus then. Next to Barcelona in their A.
Okay.
Bundesliga and with Bayern Munich, an A-. I'm going to go with Gab Marcotti first. Gab, is that fair?
What? They're top of the table, which
Yep.
is where they were last year. Has there been a massive improvement? I go with Mats Hummels. No, there hasn't been. I think there's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of clarity to be achieved in terms of who's going to take over next year. And there was some lost time earlier in the season as well. So between those, no, I'd go lower. I'd go a B, basically.
A B? Shaq?
No, I'm happy with A-. I think they're running away with the Bundesliga. That in itself is deserving of an A, but just remember they have to change managers to find their full stride. As a result, I think A- is fair.
Ancelotti, isn't it? It's Gab and it's Ancelotti. love.
Oh,
That's where that comes
So-
from.
Forgot about that, didn't you?
D.
D+ for Borussia Dortmund.
That's probably generous. I mean, they've just been horrible.
What's the plus for?
Yeah, no, exactly. How about a Z? Oh no, sorry. If they were going to get relegated,
They're
be a
third
Z.
in the Bundesliga.
Yeah,
That's going to mean a complete
I think
disaster.
that says more about the Bundesliga that they're third.
Oh, no.
How many managers have they had this year already?
Two.
Two. There you go. How bad is that? And they're still third in the Bundesliga. That tells you how
Bayern
good.
have had two.
Yeah, but that's a different ballgame.
Gab,
Different circumstances.
a Gab D+.
I mean, look, Stoger's done well since he came on. You know, you average the F under Boss with the B under Stoger or something like that, and maybe you come up with a D+. So it's not, you know, it's not unthinkable. And you know, these are the group of young players trying to grow and whatever. But I don't know.
God.
Yeah, D+ to me,
bless
D+,
them.
C-.
Young players.
Gab, just Gab. Shaq, give me a mark and then we're done.
D+.
D+.
I agree with the
You
D+.
agree with D+. A- seems to be about fair according to the boys. Let's address Serie A's report card, shall we? Napoli A, Inter A, Juve B+, AC Milan D. What do you reckon?
So I think Napoli definitely an A. I have no issue with that whatsoever. I think Inter as well. You know, I can go A or A- because, you know, when you look at the spending over the summer, you look at where they are. You know, they've overachieved that. I would go lower with Juventus. Again, this is Juventus that we're talking about, and I know they're near the top, but the fact that, you know, you've got issues with Dybala, you don't quite know what, or certainly Allegri doesn't have a clear idea of how he wants to play. It's still very much a work in progress at this point of the season, and we're in December. I go lower. I go maybe B-. And yeah, for Milan, I mean, I don't know. Well, what's it take for it to be an F? I mean, relegation? I don't know. I'll go D. And look, I like the summer signings, but it's obvious that there's a bigger malaise going on, and so D sounds about right.
Gab Marcotti, as always, thank you very much for your thoughts. For PSG.
Why the minus?
I don't know.
I just try to think.
I don't know.
I mean, they've
Maybe
lost,
because the Neymar Cavani.
they lost.
That's
they
Neymar
lost to
Cavani.
Munich. They lost to Munich. They lost against Strasbourg, but the top of the league.
Yeah.
They won the Champions League group comfortably. They haven't done a lot wrong, have they?
Tough school, isn't it? Not sure where the minus comes from.
Yeah, I'm going with an A. I don't know what more they can do to get an A. I think so far they've been everything that people wanted them to be with the acquisition of Mbappe and of course Neymar. I think PSG have been excellent.
Join me getting ready to tackle some transfer rumors to let me know if he thinks they could be hits or misses for all parties
Before
around.
you start, let me just have a little word about Gabriella Marcotti. Keeps saying that this is about pundits don't know whether this is going to happen. It's not about whether it's going to happen.
No, it's if
whether
you
we
think it's
it's
good.
a good move.
Exactly,
So
for
that's for
both
you, Gab.
parties or not. That's for you, Gab. Take that. All right, let's start off with Danny Rose. This one has been floating around for some time now. Top man, could he be a good move for Man United?
It could be a good move for Manchester United. Most of their left backs haven't played particularly well. Ashley Young's done a good job, but he's not a left back. Luke Shaw, I don't think is going to be given a look in. Darmian's played out there. Daley Blint hasn't done well enough defensively. So I think it would be a good move. And he's obviously having a few problems at Tottenham at the moment. So good move for for Manchester United and Danny Rose.
Raheem Sterling, he has been flying. Even Stevie Nicol has been singing his praises. Real Madrid could come looking for him. Would that be a hit or miss?
That would be a miss for me. I don't think he's playing well. There's no question about it. He's improved under Pep Guardiola, but I don't think he's of the standard of Real Madrid at the moment. So I'm going to go with a miss for that one.
Oh, Real Madrid's standard's been a bit questionable at the moment, though, Stu. But
yeah,
we know what you're talking about. We know what you're talking about. Emre Can to Juventus, hit or miss?
I can't see why Juventus would want Emre Can at the moment. I think they've got a good midfield. They've got too many players most in midfield. That's why Allegri's had problems, who he's going to select, what formations he's going to play. I don't see him as a centre-half either. So I would actually say that's a miss both for Juventus and Liverpool, who I think need to keep him.
Troy Deeney, a lot of people have been singing the Watford's man's praises for some time now. Would a move to Everton suit him, though? Because not many seem to want to go to Everton these days.
Well, it would suit Sam Allardyce because he's a big player that's not got a great deal of pace. He's good in the air. He'll back into centre-halves. He'll make it difficult. I thought he was excellent when he was playing up front with Watford with Igalo a couple of years ago. He's fallen off that sort of those sort of level of performances. Long term, I don't think it's a good move, but for a short term, with Sam Allardyce's style of play, I'll go with a hit.
And finally, the one that makes me chuckle, Neymar to Real Madrid. We were just talking about that Madrid standard. Of course, Neymar is up there, but would it be a good move?
Well, Neymar seems to cause problems wherever he goes, apart from when he's playing for Brazil. I'm not a great fan of him, as you probably have heard
Tell us
before.
how you really feel.
He's an exceptional player, but I don't like his character. I don't like what he brings to the side. And we've seen that Barcelona are probably, at the moment, a better side without him.
Messi
so
said it.
It's definitely a miss for me if you were a Real Madrid director.
All right, thanks so much to Stuart Robson. Continue tracking all of these rumours as they swirl around to see if they indeed do happen here at ESPNFC.com.
On the ESPN FC transfer rater, we're going to start with a bit of a surprise one for me. Aubameyang, but to Everton. Stevie Nicol, what do you make of that?
Why? Would be the answer. Why would Aubameyang leave Dortmund to go to Everton? Makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm not sure where this has come from, but I'm sorry, don't see it.
If he leaves Dortmund, what kind of level of club are you expecting someone like Aubameyang to go to?
Well, he's going to want to go at least to a club who are involved in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And the truth is, that ain't going to be Everton anytime soon.
I don't think I'm the only one who, when looking at this next one, thought to themselves, Ings is still at Liverpool. Now, he's had this injury. He's had a lot of bad luck as well. His time has come and gone at Liverpool, hasn't it? Even if he gets himself fit with regards to who's ahead of him in the pecking order.
Yeah, there's no question that he doesn't have a future at Liverpool. He was signed certainly as a squad player. He wasn't signed to be in the starting 11, I don't believe. And of course, as you said, with his injuries over the last couple of years, I mean, he just needs to play again. And the only way he does that is to leave Liverpool. So this really is an absolute no-brainer. Danny Ings, for his own good, has to leave Liverpool.
Jack Wilshere went to Bournemouth on loan. Is that a kind of message to him that, look, you might be a squad player if you want to stay at Arsenal, but again, just as you said with Ings, it's probably best if he goes elsewhere and plays.
I think this is a little bit of a strange one because Wilshere, no doubt, before he went to Bournemouth on loan, probably rated himself pretty highly. When he went to Bournemouth, he didn't exactly set the heather on fire the way I thought.
You thought you might stand out more?
Yes, and I'm sure he did as well. So the fact that he has now gone back to Arsenal and is now kind of gone back to the same sort of cameo role, I think he might be happy just to stay with Arsenal. You know, you would imagine somebody like him wants to play week in, week out. But I think he's seen what it's like a little further down, and I'm not so sure that he's going to fancy it. So I think he's going to stay.
Okay.
Yep.
We could just change the name and forget the fact that he's been out on loan. Walcott and Arsenal as well. A frustrating player because so much ability, and you're thinking, if you pushed yourself a little bit more, you could have been a regular. What's the deal with Theo Walcott and Arsenal? And is it best if he leaves?
Under normal circumstances would tell you that, you know, he's at an age now, he's coming up to his 30s. You would think a professional wants to play. But this guy has had a career out of stop, start, being on the bench, being on the field, being injured. He's a guy that picks up a lot of injury as well. This is another one where You only know the answer to this question if you know what's going on inside this guy's head.
He's the only one that can answer it.
He might be quite happy to stay at Arsenal and continue to do what he's doing. It seems like Arsenal are happy to have him as a squad player. So again, I'm not so sure this happens.
Okay.
I will throw in, if he does move, I'm going to say he goes back to Southampton. Otherwise, he stays where he is.
Okay, we've left the best till last.
Gone.
You think?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, listen, he made a statement yesterday, in fact, pretty much saying, you know, I'm trying my best, as you've already seen this year. When he's played, he's been fantastic for Liverpool. But you know what? I got an opportunity and I was disappointed that it didn't happen. That's basically what he's been saying.